I personally use Gemini extensively on this channel, testing out every update and breaking down every feature for you guys, but looking back since its original release almost 2 years ago, the platform has evolved massively in the year 2026. At this point, I'm using it almost daily for completely different tasks in my life, and it has been so impactful. So real quick, I wanted to cut to the chase and show you 3 of the absolute best ways that I use Gemini in my day-to-day routine. So let's get right into it, and of course, if you do like content like this, definitely subscribe to the 9 to 5 Google YouTube channel because we have so much more content coming your way. This first one is actually the most recent feature that I started using. It just dropped probably about a week ago, and it's called Personal Intelligence. I'm sure you heard of it by now, but the whole point here is that Gemini isn't just a basic chat bot that can gather information for you anymore. It's actively building a memory of you and is able to talk about those aspects in detail. When I first logged in after this Personal Intelligence update, I got a prompt asking if I wanted a snapshot of my personal intelligence. I honestly didn't really know what that actually meant, so I just clicked it, and immediately it opened up a summary that basically told me the best aspects of myself based on our chat history. For example, it knew that I did deep dives on pixel leaks for the YouTube channel 9 to 5 Google. It recognized that I have a talent for translating complex Android features into something more engaging and palatable. It even noted a specific trait that I have where I'm always trying to level up my personal life and always try to build the best version of myself. But then it hit me with some specifically silly details, like the fact that I hate pickles, for example. And if you don't know, I absolutely hate them on sandwiches. Raw out of the jar, absolutely disgusting. You will never catch me eating pickles, just making that clear. Whoever was on the Gemini team that put this feature together was so smart in its implementation. It adds such life and character to Gemini, and it stops feeling like a cold, weird, calculated tool, and it starts feeling like a real, actual partner that actually knows things about you. If you already have it turned on, please, I beg you to hop in and check your own snapshot for yourself. Or if you don't want something so in-depth, there is a little For You tab here on the main page that, instead of giving a whole summary, they just give you a couple super specific questions, again, based on your chat history. So please check it out when you get the chance. So that's more of the engaging, fun side of AI, but this next one requires me to be a little bit vulnerable for a second. I just have to admit it. I do need help organizing my finances, and I know for a fact I am not the only one out there. There are millions of people out there just like me that are actually embarrassed to show a real financial advisor our spending habits. That said, Gemini was one of the easiest, fastest ways for me to, at the very least, get started on my own before I professionally hire someone later. For this situation, I did actually upload my last 3 months of bank statements into Gemini to get an analysis, but I do have a major security warning for you guys. Do not do what most people might try to do, which is upload the raw PDF bank statements. Even if you use a markup tool to black out your account numbers on a PDF, the AI and other programs could potentially still read the text layer underneath that black marker. The safest way to do this is to take screenshots of your statement, then use the markup tool to redact sensitive information like account numbers or addresses. When you take a screenshot, it flattens the image and destroys that text layering system. That means the AI literally cannot access the text you've just covered up. Once I had those safe screenshots curated and put together, I uploaded them to Gemini and simply told it, here's a few months of my bank statements, tell me about my spending habits and how I can improve. And the results were truly eye-opening. I found out that I go to the dollar store or gas station almost daily and spend anywhere from $20 to $30. Subconsciously, I knew I was doing that, but it hits different when Gemini lays out the data, telling you how many days in a row, or the specific total amounts, or the frequency that I've been going to the dollar store. It showed I was going to the ATM constantly. It showed I was sending payments to friends and family way too often. It gave me specific breakdowns on takeout, subscriptions, in-game purchases, you name it, but I had all of that data laid out, and it definitely put things into perspective. From there, Gemini guided me into a spending plan based on what I told it I was comfortable with. It laid out exactly how much I should be saving, how much I should be spending to save on track, effectively giving me a complete blueprint to get all of my finances in a place that I'm happy with, as long as I just simply follow the steps. And of course, I manually reviewed this path myself, and honestly, everything looks perfect. I feel like I really don't have to tweak much here. I can just shut up and do what it says. And because Gemini showed me specifically how much that daily dollar store trip was affecting my finances, I just don't go anymore. Or if I do, I am consciously spending. This is a behavioral change that I just wouldn't have made unless that dialogue was opened up with Gemini, and if you feel comfortable, I totally encourage you to take a shot at it. Finally, the last area where a lot of people need to use AI more is when it comes to picking up new hobbies or navigating unfamiliar markets. Lately, I've been getting into Pokemon cards, buying, selling, trading, and holding sealed items. If you know, you know. It's probably the worst time to get into it, but hey, I'm having fun, so I can't complain. The problem is, Pokemon cards are a whole beast in itself. There are decades of history, thousands of products, so much FOMO scenarios that you can get caught up in. The investing side is truly overwhelming, and it's kind of a pain in the ass. And in this case, I use Gemini not as a search engine, but as a research engine to summarize and contextualize this data. It helps me know exactly what I'm looking at when I walk into a card shop or what products I should be considering. Very useful. For me, I use Gemini Live with video or just take photos and send them into the chat to talk about specific cards. I can ask in real time questions about its history or how certain products fit into my collection portfolio, but the biggest win was using it to save money. One time, I was at a consignment shop and they had some suspicious looking Pokemon cards for sale. I couldn't tell exactly what was off about them, but the condition and the packaging and the price just seemed to be too good to be true. So in my case, I took photos, I sent them to Gemini, and I basically told it, here are some of my reasons why I think these Pokemon cards might be fake. What do you think about it? Gemini responded with a very clear checklist of what to look for. It told me how to inspect for print quality, analyze the packaging for specific ridges versus flat edges, and check the font spacing, plus so much more. That simple conversation gave me a quick starting point, and of course I verified that info with a quick Google search, and I was quickly able to determine the cards were faked, which saved me a ton of money and probably a little bit of embarrassment as someone new in the hobby. That said, getting familiar with a new hobby is a great way to use this tech because you don't just get the raw data or the raw prices, you learn about the why behind the data, which makes you a smarter human being when engaging with a new hobby in the long run. And obviously, guys, these aren't the only ways that I use Gemini, but these are 3 specific ways that it's helping me out massively in my life right now. I made this video because with all the noise that we're facing with AI, I just don't think it's right that everyone else gets to benefit from it besides you and me. The same way these companies are using AI to make $1 million and to do everything on your behalf, I really think that us normal people should be using it in that same exact way to make our own lives easier as well. So I hope this helped give you some ideas on how you can actually use Gemini to actually gain an advantage in your life. Gemini is a great tool that is capable of giving you so much time back if you learn how to use it correctly. But please, let me know in the comments and be vulnerable with me for just a second here and share for one moment. What are some weird use cases for AI that you've used in your own personal life? I honestly just want to know, how are viewers of the 9 to 5 Google YouTube channel using Gemini? And please share in the comments and let me know. It might give your fellow enthusiasts some ideas for their own lives. Like I said, don't leave without sharing your favorites, and until next time, this has been Jordan Floyd from 9 to 5 Google. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.